to the next topic when we talk about how do healing crystals work. As you can see, right, for crystals on a day-to-day, if you realize that when we actually use crystals, most of the people are just placing them around us or keeping them, or if not, right, wear them as accessories. But there are actually ways that we can actually use crystals to actually bring forth the next level of connecting all this energy and helping you, right, to resonate and bring forth how you can leverage and tap on this positive energy. Crystals can absorb an indefinite amount of energy. Do you guys know that? We already know that we take the energy from crystals, right? But you know, crystals can also absorb a lot of energy from the people that's using them or holding on to them. Why? Just treat crystals like a hard disk. Okay, we talk about layman, right? Nowadays, we store a lot of things, even our phone memory, etc. Right? So just treat crystals like a hard disk. In hard disk, we store data. In crystals, we store intention and energy. So what do we mean by intention energy? We talk about intention, right? It's thoughts. Every second, our human mind, we are all sending out various thoughts. It can be like more than 10, 20 thoughts, per second. But we do not know. Subconsciously, we are not aware that there are a lot of energy exchange on a day-to-day basis by just our brain emitting out a single, a single thought can be, like in various multiple small thoughts. The thing is that we see, why is it that when we talk about, modern philosophical theories, right, law of attraction, when we actually give out, positive energy and we think positive, we receive positive. There's actually an association or a secret behind this. So when we link back, right, for crystals, similar, if you talk about the energy behind, right, we are able to program crystals using our own thoughts and energy. So this is a very deep topic. So normally I normally conduct workshops to talk about this, but here I'll just like to share a little bit with you in terms of crystals are not just what we see as it is on a day-to-day where we're just using it as, wearing around us. There are various deeper contexts where we can actually inject intention to let crystals, right, help us to actually, program that and help us to amplify to the next level. So every crystal, let's say we talk about something that you're connected to, if you can actually, right, inject and program, your this energy directly into the crystals by saying that, I want, by looking at the healing properties of all the crystals that I've just shared with you, right, like stone of health, stone of opportunity, whichever. All these texts has contained vibration and power also. So when these energy are exchanged with your own particular crystals, from layman eyes, right, we are not able to see the effectiveness of how this will affect us. But if you were to really zoom in to actually prove it on the next level, the energy exchange between the natural crystals or crystals that you are connected to versus your thought and your mind will have intense impact, on a day-to-day. That's why some people, right, they realize that, how come maybe during this stage in their life they feel very down, they feel, very low. But how all of a sudden, things started to change when they start to acquire, let's say, a natural stone or getting something that is like, they believe in. Because when we talk about belief, we talk about belief in the power within the crystals. It energizes and it helps us to connect higher up to the universe. So this is another theory. But overall, when we say that how healing crystals can help us, right, is typically going back to the very fundamental. Whether are you able to connect and believe in the healing properties of the energy, and then helping yourself to actually amplify that positive vibes within you. Because when we believe, we energize our energetic field. So we can use crystals in this way. So how do we actually, right, demonstrate all these massive data that are stored inside? It is actually a very difficult topic for 1 hour like this, but to put it very easy layman, right, you should actually connect with your crystals that when you first see it and when you first come into contact with, right, it gives you that very unexplainable connection where, it may be the colors, it may be the shape, it may be the whole entire vibration, because some people are sensitive, they can feel vibration. So when they hold it, they can feel that, suddenly there's this energy that energizes me and then making me feel very happy. So that is the energy that I'm talking about. Because there's literally an exchange ongoing, and then with that, right, wonderful thing will happen once you start to actually connect more into deeper. So how to go about linking all this earlier that I mentioned to you, right? We zoom in to talk about the 7 chakras. 7 chakras, right, for people who are new in chakras terminology, right, maybe I just share a little bit. Chakras are typically energy vortexes. When we talk about energy vortexes, we talk about in our body ecosystem, there are actually 7 main chakras. And these energy vortex or energy wheel are all governing, right, every single part of our body functioning. And when we talk about body functioning, I try to relate that, right, to maybe we talk about Chinese acupuncture, we talk about meridian points, and then sometimes when we talk about how energy are flowing within our body. So the 7 chakras are the main core points that is used to illustrate. Of course, there are more than 7 chakras nowadays. We may even go up to 15 chakras. But 7 chakras is the fundamental, easiest to get and understand in this very quick session. So zooming in, when we talk about chakras, the 7 chakras that links to our body, they are from the fundamental chakras, where we talk about root, to the top chakra, the first chakra we talk about crown. So these 7 chakras are essential on the day-to-day for us to balance our energy, in order for us to function effectively, of course, as a human being. Of course, when we talk about, functioning effectively, right, some people may be thinking, what does that mean? Why is it that people fall sick? Why is it that people sometimes get very emotionally drained? So why people sometimes get very negative? There's a reason behind, because the chakras point are all off. Some haywire, some in a big mess, some blocked. Why? Because the environment, people around us, the place that we stay in, the people that's, on a day-to-day where we talk, we meet, these people are highly negative. They are sometimes known as psychic vampires, coming around to drain your energy and then always give you a lot of negative vibes, right? Yeah, so these people are affecting our chakras. And then chakras, at the end of the day, when it's affected, it will actually affect our auras, our auroric field. So these are also fairly important, because every human being has got aura, different colors around us. And then these are all also can be interfered when our chakra points are off balance or blocked. So how do we actually heal and balance our chakras? It's by looking at the crystals that's associated with the respective chakra point and use that to balance and to heal your chakra energy. So of course, some other people, they use Reiki, they use other forms of energy healing methods to actually balance their chakra points. So for here, we will focus on just illustrating the crystals, how crystals can be used to actually heal or balance your chakras. So looking at the 7 chakra, right, we have actually custom-made 7 crystals that's actually from the original source, meaning to say we actually get the mines to source for us 7 original large pieces of minerals, and then we actually created 7 different crystals from all the 7 huge minerals to ensure a single energetic process. That means to say that every source, right, is unique from one single energy source. Instead of the random tumblestones that probably you may be getting outside, it's from various minerals. That means their mother is all the same. That means all from the same mother. Then we have 1,000 set each to actually ensure the stability of the energetic field. And this is typically used for balancing your chakras. So going in to highlight to you the 7 chakras. So earlier on I mentioned about root chakra, crown chakra. So now progressively from root chakra, we go into sacral chakra. And we go up, solar plex, heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, and also crown chakra. These are the 7 chakras that is actually, interesting, because later part I will zoom in to actually highlight the healing properties of the crystals in relation with the chakras. So we'll start off with root chakra. So earlier, remember I mentioned about onyx, right? This stone, it's a highly protective stone. And why is it that it's actually used to actually, why is it used for root chakra balancing? Because earlier when onyx I mentioned is for shielding and protection. And for root chakra, it's very important because it is our fundamental chakra that help us with anchoring and grounding, protecting us on the day-to-day, because without a solid fundamental or foundation, right, it is very difficult for individual to stay focused and balanced, especially in our current overwhelming society. So why is it that sometimes, right, you may be feeling easily affected by a lot of things around you? It may be like just a simple, simple words from someone, or even certain action that you see, you just feel so affected. Most of the time, it's because your root chakra is pretty unstable. People who are unstable in their root chakra, they get emotionally affected easily. They get flare up easily. They're very sensitive. They always think that people are talking bad about them. People are like behind, trying to attack them, trying to actually talk bad about them. So these people are highly, I should say, insecure. Root chakra need to be balanced and anchored and grounded for people who are able to, get yourself off from the state of mind. And also on another context, another type of category of people who will feel very ungrounded. People who are going through their spiritual development. They tend to be very floaty. They tend to think a lot. People who have a lot of dreams, a lot of nightmares. Sometimes, right, because their vibration is probably too high at the higher chakras, so they need to anchor and ground themselves in order for them, right, to progress deeper in their spiritual development. So this is also another context that we'll be looking at. So this one is another deep topic. So we will go in back to the fundamental root chakra anchoring. So coming back to the society that we are in day to day at work. Typically for people who, if you know yourself, are easily affected, very emotional, try to zoom in to look at your root chakra balancing and see how you can actually help yourself by balancing back this part. And then the next part we talk about sacral. Sacral is the orange color. Sacral chakra typically is very good for creativity, for sexuality, for people who are thinking of conceiving, giving birth, having family planning. Sacral chakra is important. People who just give, let's say for mothers who just give birth, it is very essential for you to take note to make sure that you actually energize and charge up your sacral chakra. Because most of the time, right, your sacral chakra will be literally weak or overwhelming. And nowadays, because due to stress and due to the food that we eat, right, a lot of ladies, a lot of mummies, they are having difficulty trying to conceive. Also partly because sacral chakra, a lot of people are very weak and off balance during that part. So we need to actually help these people. Then we go up further to the third chakra, which is the solar plex. Solar plex is actually for confidence, self-esteem, ego. Why people sometimes, right, if you go out and you see like maybe your bosses and people who are out there who are very influential, they are always very confident. They have very, very powerful solar plex energy. When they speak, people will look at them, people will be convinced by them, people will be influenced by them. So these people has got very high solar plex, energizing solar plex power. And then the stone that's associated with solar plex. Just like I mentioned, right? Why so many people keep citrine, right? Because citrine can be one of the stones that energize your solar plex energy and provide you with that motivation and that drive and the influential power, in your day-to-day, especially when you are, let's say, in an organization where requires you to actually lead a big group of people. Solar plex energy is very important. And it gives you confidence, gives you that motivation, and also the influence power. Then moving up, we talk about heart chakra. Heart chakra, remember? Oh, sorry. Okay, heart chakra. So heart chakra, again, rose quartz. Also one of our birthstones. Remember which month? Rose quartz. Oh, yes, pay attention. Okay, so rose quartz is also a very powerful stone for heart chakra, meaning because it helps to heal your heart chakra, balancing your heart chakra energy, helping individual, especially emotionally drained people, to help them balance their heart chakra. And then we have the throat chakra, the blue angelite, for communication, delivery of your speech, your expression. Some people has got difficulty trying to express themselves, especially when they face with difficulties in argument, or even when they are feeling very upset, right? They don't know how to express, and they are always suppressing themselves. It's most of the time because their heart chakra, right, is either very recessive. When we talk about recessive, it's very low or off balance or blocked. So sometimes you realize that at times when you need to express your emotions, you always feel very trapped because it's like stuck between your heart chakra and your throat chakra. It's like very emo, but cannot say. don't know how to express. So end up, right, you find it very difficult. So this is also one of the clear indication that your throat and your heart chakra is blocked. So you need to pay attention and see if we can unblock and heal the chakras. Then next we go up further to amethyst, third eye chakra. Of course, amethyst is one of the stones that is associated with third eye. There are also other stones that is used for third eye. Like we talk about lapis, etc. But this time we use amethyst for third eye. Because amethyst, again I mentioned, mental clarity, intuition, insightful, helping you with decision making. So it gives you a lot of wisdom and clarity to make decision. And very much, right, when we link all these points, it's actually associated with your third eye. Third eye is typically something that to do with subconscious and your inward looking energy. Allow you to actually express yourself by discovering what is within, allowing you to make decision and connecting up to receive message from a higher vibrational context. Okay, and then finally, clear quartz. That's where the crown chakra stone lies. It is on. We talk about master healer. We talk about spirituality. We talk about crown chakra, enlightenment. Because people who are actually having very strong vibrational at their crown and their third eye level, right? Most of them are typically sometimes feeling very floaty and unstable. And that's the reason why we always advocate and try to ground these people down by sharing with them, the need for them to anchor and ground themselves and not too overwhelmed. Because when you are at that level, you get very distracted, very difficult to focus. And at this point of time, I would suggest we don't encourage them to do a lot of meditation. It's dangerous if you do meditation at that kind of approach. So we try to actually bring these people back to normal. So these are things which we will also share during our workshop. Okay, coming back, right? Functional use of 7 chakras. Okay, we can actually use 7 chakra crystals in various ways. So I will just share with you some of the functional use. Having them close to you, carry with you in your bag. Having them in a pouch, place them below your pillow or beside your bed. You can actually have the energy close to you. This is one way. And next thing is that we can actually put them in the diffuser, by putting them in water and then putting essential oil. But of course, as I mentioned also earlier last week, not all crystals can actually be placed in water. So we need to actually know what are the crystals that are suitable to be placed with water and also with essential oil. So these are also one of the functional use where we can actually use the chakra stones by having the energy diffuse out together with the mist, and water. So it carries the vibration and you can use it to fill up your space. As the aroma diffuse out, you can also do it in this way. The last part is placing them on your chakra points. So this is also one way you can do it, by placing them directly on your chakra points. Okay? So to balance all the various chakra energy, placing the crystals on your chakra points will help you